Mussels, the secret life of rock stars.
Hi everyone, I'm River, a stream ecology researcher. Today I'm headed towards the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service office to find some freshwater mussels. This is not a rock, though many confuse it for one. This is an ecosystem engineer, also known as the freshwater mussel. The hard shell is made up of two parts, which is why these guys are called bivalves. If we're lucky, we will be able to see its muscular foot that creeps out between the openings of the valves. This foot, as seen in the picture above, is their only mode of transportation. Mussels use their foot to dig themselves into the sediment of the stream or riverbed. They can also use this foot to move short distances. But for the majority of their lives, these guys are sessile, meaning that they stay in place, a sort of couch potato, if you will. And why would they even need to move? They have everything they need at the bottom of their stream. These clever critters suck in water through their inhalant siphon and filter out their food and oxygen using their gills. A single freshwater mussel can filter between 8 and 15 gallons of river water a day. To put that into perspective, that's the same amount of water that would be used in a 5-minute shower. To you, that might not seem that impressive, but it becomes impressive because where you find one mussel, you are more than likely to find another. Mussels live in communities called mussel beds that can support many different species. So, if one mussel can filter that many gallons of water in one day, just imagine what an entire mussel bed can accomplish. Without a doubt, the coolest thing about mussels is their life cycle. Let's go back a second to when we mentioned that these guys are sessile, meaning that they don't really move a lot. You may have been thinking, if they can't move, how are mussels in almost every river in America? To that, I say, excellent question. The answer is fascinating. Unlike mussels that live in the ocean, freshwater mussels depend on fish and sometimes even salamanders to reproduce. Let's start from the beginning. Male mussels release their sperm into the water, which is then sucked into the female via the siphon, the same siphon that they filter water, food, and oxygen through. The fertilized eggs are brooded in the female's gills, where they develop into tiny baby mussels called glochidia. If the female mussel deposited her baby mussels right there where she was, the little guys probably wouldn't survive, as space and resources would quickly run out. The older mussels would outcompete the baby ones, meaning that the environment would no longer be able to sustain the mussel population. This would be bad for the mussels, as their numbers would not be able to increase that much. To get around this problem of dispersal, freshwater mussels parasitize fish. Some species release their larvae, baby mussels, into the water in the hopes that they attach to the gills of a passing fish. Other mussels rely on really cool lures that look like little fish. These lures wiggle around the water just like a yummy snack, and passing fish bite them thinking that they are food. Once this happens, the lures pop like a water balloon and release the glochidia, which then attach to the fish. Here they stay for a few weeks, depending on the species, as they develop into juveniles. When they are ready, these tiny little mussels drop off of the fish and hopefully land in a suitable habitat. If this happens, a new mussel bed will develop and the life cycle will repeat itself. So, why should we care about our little friends, the freshwater mussel? Freshwater mussels have been drastically decreasing in numbers in recent years for a number of reasons. Most of these contributing factors are of anthropogenic origins, meaning that the decline in mussel populations is directly linked to human involvement. We put chemicals and other contaminants in our waterways, which the mussels absorb as they filter water. We also decimated their populations by over-harvesting their shells to make buttons during the 20th century. Luckily for the mussels, the button boom has ended, but infrastructure such as dams are still causing the destruction of much-needed mollusk habitats. These dams also prevent fish, which mussels depend on for reproduction, from reaching the areas where mussels live, which further hurts their populations. Out of the 300 or so mussel species that call North America home, 70% are listed by the federal or state governments as endangered, which is scary. But don't be too scared, as their plight isn't hopeless. Luckily, there are ways to help. Let's ask an expert.
I'm Alexa Hirschberger. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. I'm in the Cooperative Fish and Wildlife Research Unit. So what the average person can do for freshwater mussels. So one thing that mussel biologists are really struggling with right now is the lack of data. So there's only so many of us that can go out and survey these streams and lakes for freshwater mussels. And one thing that anybody can do in the public is go out in nature, take a hike, go swimming, and if you see anything, take a photo of it. And so there's an app you can download, iNaturalist, and it is a community science app. So if you take the photo of it, it will tell you what species it is, but our state biologists are able to access those data and inform them where they might want to do a future survey or if there's any unknown populations of certain species that we might have.
So, there we have it. Why don't you download iNaturalist when you get the chance? I swear you won't regret it. It's a really cool app. After watching this video, you now know a lot about mussels. Here are some of the wonderful sources that helped us put this video together. I would like to give a special thanks to Lexi and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for making this video possible. And I would also like to thank Professor James Gardner and my lovely, lovely teammates for their support. Thank you.